So are you ready to become a dad?
Well, I mean, not right at this moment, but like sometimes
We're working on it. Hey everyone! So tomorrow Michael and I are flying out to Dallas, Texas to start our, first step in the surrogacy process, which is to ejaculate into a cup.
and maybe get blood work. I don't know.
Oh man, is there gonna
Do
be
we have to get
needles
blood work?
involved? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Anyway, we just wanted to sit down and kind of like talk about our feelings and what's going on because we have a lot of unsorted thoughts, feelings, and emotions and questions that are all kind of tangled up in our heads. I honestly don't even know what to expect going down there or what this whole appointment's going to be like.
I know, I feel like we were just told it's the initial steps, it's gonna be screening, it's gonna be testing, it's gonna be blah blah blah,
Like a
you're gonna meet your
doctor's
team, you're gonna
appointment.
meet the doctors, but I don't know like every single thing that we're gonna be doing. Maybe I could have asked, but I feel like it's overkill to be like, can you give me an exact step-by-step and like date
Yeah.
and time of like what
I was
exactly
like-
we're doing.
I was like over email and I'm like, hey, so what does this appointment look like and like how long is it going to take? And they're like, oh, it'll just take a couple hours and we're just gonna do a couple screening things and a physical and I'm like, okay, are we doing the sperm donation too? And they're like, oh yeah, and I'm like, okay. Wow, I don't know. I think we're gonna do our sperm donation but they're also going to do like, it's gonna be like a sample for testing and then the sample for the actual donation. It's gonna be like all in one go.
We need to know our counts, and then they have to decide if we're fertile and
The sample that we give in this first appointment is a sample that they're going to use to make our babies.
that's what they
My
said.
understanding.
Our other friends are literally going through this process at the same time, and they said that they're going almost on the exact same day, just a different clinic, and they're just doing testing. They're not doing their donation. I guess it's not always the exact same at every clinic.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm just excited to like start doing something in person. He said it was like the first step in the process, but it's really not the first step. We're on like step like 10. It's just the first time we've ever done anything in person.
It's like physical, something physical that we're doing. It's
Yeah.
not just a phone call, it's not an email. We're going somewhere and we're doing something. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, and we actually are going to meet our egg donor as well.
I feel like it should have been more exciting than that, but we're going to meet our egg donor! Whoa! Okay, yeah.
We met her on Zoom,
We did,
but it's just gonna be so wild meeting her in person, I think.
I haven't mentally prepared for it at all. It's like, okay, we're gonna make a baby together. Like, hi, nice to meet you. We're making a baby.
Right, which is like,
I guess like some
obviously-
people do that in real life, but
It's obviously like, we knew that that was the process.
yeah, this is so different.
But having to deal with it in person is different. It's like going on a date versus like thinking about going on a date.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, you're like, oh, it's like just, it's way different to like conceptualize it than it is to actually do it.
I mean, for both of us going into this process, I have not found a lot of information online to like adequately prepare. How do you prepare?
We know a lot about the steps.
Yeah.
We know a lot about the process.
But what about
I don't know
like,
if people talk about like, oh, this is how I felt during this process. This is how I felt when well, not everybody meets their egg donor, but this is how I felt when I met our egg donor. This is how I felt on donation.
very
This
much
is how
like touchy-feely type person. So if I don't adequately prepare emotionally for all of these steps, then I think it's just gonna hit me as I'm there. And I don't know how I'm gonna react with that. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be like a runaway bride on her wedding day. I'm gonna be a runaway wannabe father running away with a sperm cup.
Just me, I guess.
I wouldn't leave you.
Oh.
I wouldn't leave you in the dust like that.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Wouldn't leave you in the sperm clinic just like that. I would stay there with you. I'm trying to think of like what questions I have right now for just questions I would ask myself and I would ask the clinic is, how are you gonna tell if we're fertile or not? Or like,
Well, that's scientific.
how fertile is fertile enough?
They do a literal count.
Okay, so I'm glad I have you here to help answer these questions for
They
me.
literally go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And then like, what if one of us isn't fertile? And then what are we going to do?
Then one of us.
No, don't answer it right now. And then like, what if they ask something about like a genetic testing thing where we can test for like certain diseases that we might be
I
carrying?
think chromosomal abnormalities. So like, if you're a predisposition or if you have a recessive gene, they can test for it. I want to know. Everybody keeps asking about our surrogate and if we have a surrogate and if we've met our surrogate, and like, no.
We're not even close to that
I think
point yet.
I think the process for them is like, get an egg donor first, make embryos, know the genetics of those embryos, and then the surrogate has to also pass
all these tests as well.
Some sort of like genetic testing to make sure that like whatever, her genetics and the genetics of the embryos aren't gonna like clash, right? So I think that's my biggest thing, because everybody keeps asking like, oh, when do you think you could get pregnant? When do you think? And I'm like, I don't know, middle or end of next year.
We signed with our egg donor in April. Now it's August, and so I'm wondering like, okay, when are we starting the process of getting those eggs? And then we have to make the embryos, and then we gotta wait, and then we can look for our surrogate.
You know how like in school, at the beginning of the semester, they'll give you like a pre-test, and at the end of the semester, they give you like a post-test?
We should take a post-test.
No,
for
I'm like,
surrogacy.
this whole video is like our pre-test.
This is our pre-test.
Where we're like, we don't know when she starts her cycle. We don't know when we're gonna match with a surrogate. He apparently doesn't understand how they do science things and count sperm. At like the end of it all, we're gonna be like, bam, 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 bam. We're gonna know all the answers.
I hope so. The other cool thing is when we were first talking to our egg donor, because like people don't typically, I mean, it's not unheard of for you to sign with an egg donor without ever interviewing or talking to them. A lot of these egg donations happen anonymously, but we had the opportunity to talk to ours over Zoom with our surrogacy agency, and we actually talked to our surrogacy agency about the possibility of doing an open surrogacy process, so where she will know us, we know her. I just like both of us, I think well, we're just super happy about it.
Yeah.
And she was actually really happy too.
Yeah, so you can do it two ways. Everything can be anonymous. You're just like shopping for eggs. They don't really know who you are, you don't know who they are.
But
are we gonna exchange numbers? Or is she gonna know like kind of where we live? And are we gonna have her address to send her like letters or cards, or her phone number to send her photos or things like that? Which is so bizarre, like, because we met this person online, we met her over Zoom once, and like very good vibes from both of us, and it's just kind of like, oh, okay, and then like there it is. Now that's the mother of your children, and it's gonna be an open thing, so then you're gonna kind of have like a long-term relationship with this person, and like it was just decided it feels like it was decided so quickly, like.
Yes, I feel exactly the same. I think certain parts of this, they happen so fast, but the whole process itself is so excruciatingly slow at the same time.
Because it's like, how many questions can you ask someone, on a Zoom call, which normally doesn't happen. They said like it's not super common to have a Zoom call or like even meet the egg donor, so that was like sort of rare in and of itself. I am
feeling super nervous for this whole thing, because like anything could just change. Something could happen. I don't know. Anything could happen. Anything could go wrong. Maybe I'm wearing
into the unknown.
Yes, this is a very like uncharted territory for both of us.
Yeah, I mean our first time
never done it before.
So yeah.
So I'm scared.
I have more nervous excitement. I don't know if I would describe it as a phrase.
I'm optimistically nervous. That's where we're at, that's what's happening, that's how we feel about everything that's going on, and now we gotta go pack.
Bada bing, bada boom.
To go to Texas. Thanks so much for watching. As always, you can leave comments down below, ask us questions. We will be chatting with you in the comment section. And then follow us on Instagram and TikTok. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.